Half a day and welcome to Canada News. I'm Johnny Rosario.
And I'm Troy Torres.
It is September 22nd and on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon.
It is a beautiful Wednesday afternoon, as a matter of fact. This morning it was raining.
Super, with thunder and all of that. I heard it.
Landon Aydlett yesterday from the National Weather Service Guam office. He is the warning coordinator meteorologist for the National Weather Service.
Chaos coordinator.
Chaos coordinator.
Yes.
He told us yesterday that there was going to be some cloud movement, some thunderstorms making its way throughout this area. And so that panned out. This morning we had those thunderstorms. Right now it's a beautiful afternoon. It is 1:30 p.m. in the Mariana Islands. I don't know what the weather is like in Saipan right now. We're smack dab in the middle of Hagåtña, the capital of Guam. But what we are looking at is information coming out of the National Weather Service Guam office, the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, and all the global models that those two agencies follow in providing information to us on what is now Invest 99W, which as of the latest JTWC statement was somewhere in the around more than 300 miles, nautical miles southeast of Guam. And moving northwestward, according to the latest from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center. But we like to localize things, and we like to hear directly from the weather experts who are living here and monitoring these things for us. And for that, we have Chaos Coordinator Landon Aydlett, meteorologist for the National Weather Service, joining us via Zoom. Welcome, Landon. Thank you so much.
Hey, good afternoon. It's great to see y'all both again and to talk about weather. That's the theme of the week, and it's no more COVID, at least for now. It's taking a backseat. Like you said, conditions in Saipan and Guam right now are not that bad. I'm pulling up the observations from the airport at Saipan. The winds have picked up just a little bit here at Guam, but right now in Saipan, they're steady out of the east at 20 miles per hour. So it's pretty brisk up there. And I'll show you what's going on to that shortly. But here at Guam, it's right about 10 to 15 mile per hour winds here at the airport. So not quite as windy down here. Let me show you what we're looking at right now on the screen. So you mentioned there are showers and thunderstorms across the island this morning. That is the case. We had that surface trough move through. I'm going to throw up these streamlines. These are the surface winds this morning. We had that trough coming at us yesterday that we discussed. That trough pushed through and it brought the showers and thunderstorms to the island. We had over 1 to 1.5 inches of rain across most areas of the island this morning. That has since burned off, cleared off. We have the remaining deep convection showers and thunderstorms to our southwest. Not so much weather to speak of for the rest of the afternoon and evening. So this is where you want to take time to secure any loose items ahead of what is Invest Area 99W. That remains the subject of a tropical cyclone formation alert by the Joint Typhoon Warning Center. And that's 99W out there, starting to consolidate. The large expanse of showers and thunderstorms has consolidated just a little bit, but we're still looking at a elongated surface trough, kind of like a monsoon type trough just south of the circulation. It's complicated because we're dealing with a couple of low-level circulations, and so that's where the models are deviating from each other and which circulation is to be favored in this developing scheme. So we see this weak circulation here, that's right around 11,148, but the GFS, the American model, picks up on a circulation developing right here along 12,150, 151, and that's what the GFS American model wants to spin up into something more stronger for the islands versus other models are favoring this circulation and moving it just south of Guam as a weaker, broader circulation. Looking at the polar orbiting winds, this is from the late morning hours, showing those stronger trade winds just north of Guam. This is Saipan and Tinian right there. Those green barbs, those are 15 to 20 knot winds over the water. The yellow are 20 to 25 knot winds. And that's all north of this broad circulatory complex. That's all moving in toward the Mariana Islands with the stronger winds, of course, in the Sinai and to a lesser extent at Guam. This is just another sat pass of those winds from another orbiter. And zooming in, I got a closer view of this. The scat pass did pick up that circulation center right about here. And this is that weaker of the circulation that some models pick up and show that as the primary circulation moving generally west or west-northwest, passing just south of Guam sometime on Thursday night, with more of a surface trough, open wave feature moving over the islands, bringing showers and thunderstorms. But what we don't see in the picture is this, there's that circulation again, is the extension, that surface trough, that elongated circulation, and the other circulation that could develop. So we're not going to turn our back on that at this time, because that remains a distinct possibility for development. If this one does win out and further develops, the GFS model projects it to come up towards Rota, Tinian, and Saipan on Thursday night versus this one, which is going to zip by south of Guam. There's a lot of room for change in the coming 24 to 36 hours. So the bottom line is we are beefing up our forecast for showers, thunderstorms, and gusty winds. That'll be the theme for Thursday through Friday morning, possibly through Friday afternoon. Will we be looking at a tropical depression? That remains a distinct possibility. Where will that track? That remains the uncertainty, whether it's going to pass south of Guam or over the CNMI or possibly over Guam. A lot of room for change, but the bottom line that we need to communicate is be prepared. This is not going to be a severe tropical storm event or a typhoon event. This is going to be maybe a tropical depression, or at worst, a very low-end tropical storm that would bring those tropical storm force winds to the islands. But more realistically, it could be a tropical depression as it moves by the islands on Thursday night.
Okay, so at least for now, and things could change, as you say. We're not, if we're going to get some sort of system, it's not going to be a large system, or at least not one that's going to cause major damage. We don't know where it's going to go yet. Yesterday, you were saying that the models were, or the GFS model was taking it somewhere toward the area of Tinian and Saipan. Today, it sounds like you've expanded that to Rota, Tinian, and Saipan. So have things? Can you explain to our audience how, as time goes by, things get more focused and the predictions become more accurate?
Yeah, there's here in the tropics, the long-range forecasts vary significantly, especially with a tropical system in nature. And so once we start seeing more convergence in the model forecasts, more alignments, the outlooks, that's when we have more certainty in the forecast. So this is what we're looking at right now. This is for Thursday night, early Friday morning. This is the American model showing that circulation over Tinian and Saipan. But look at another model, a significantly different scenario at play for the same time frame. So this is a different model. This is the European model versus the American model. Significant difference. And so this is what we've been keying in on for the last couple of days, this model disparity, the variation of the model outlooks for the region. So we have to take these into account. Bottom line, we will be seeing showers and thunderstorms, but how much wind? That's the key to this. That's why we're beefing up our forecasts and communicating this as best we can, the possibilities, expectations that we could see with this complex system as it pushes through the islands. Are we under watch or warning? Not at this time. So tropical storm watches and warnings have not been issued at this time. We will be raising a small craft advisory for those hazardous wind conditions over the open waters. That'll be coming out with an afternoon forecast package, as well as a flash flood watch that is likely to be issued later this afternoon. So do stand by for that, but always check our webpage for the latest, most up-to-date weather forecasts.
I think maybe one thing people want to know, at least for now, is whether they're able to have outdoor type events over the next few days, go to the beach. Is there a, what do you call that thing? The rip current advisories and all that, whether they can go hiking, stuff like that.
Yeah, I would advise against hiking, particularly like along streams, rivers, especially central and southern mountains of Guam, because any heavy rainfall events, it can be just a 30-minute period of heavy rainfall can cause a flash flood in those small creeks and streams. So don't be out hiking at least Thursday, Friday. By Saturday, we're going to be back to normal conditions. This will all be gone by Saturday morning. So this is going to be a Thursday, Friday scenario. What kind of impacts are expecting? Tent, canopy, and tarp system. Make sure your tents and canopies are well secured, or just take them down. Just be better safe than sorry. But we're not looking at widespread damage. This is not something you would consider closing your typhoon shutters for. This is a very minimal baseline event. Exercise of our motions and mechanisms.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for dumbing it down for us. I appreciate that. This is not one of those close your typhoon shutters and put up the plywood events. And to be clear, this is something for all of us in the Marianas to be looking at, not just Guam, not just Saipan, but as of now, for all of us to be looking at. Would that be correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Keep a close watch, even though this is still in a forming stage of a tropical disturbance, possibly a tropical depression later today or tonight. Things change. There's always a lot of variation when it comes to nature and the tropical environment. So keep a very close watch. And again, like I think I was telling you yesterday, it doesn't take a named system to cause problems. You can have a disturbance cause some wicked weather conditions across the islands, depending on who's under the gun with that weather.
Cool. All right. When does information change today? When do we get an update today? Is it from the heavy weather briefing at 3 or 4 o'clock?
Yeah, we'll be having the heavy weather brief at 3 for Guam and 3:30 for the CNMI, and then I'll be working with the media at 4 o'clock today and just presenting the latest information, projections and trajectories, just to get the motions in place, because again, this is one of those complex situations that's on our doorstep as it's developing. And so as a forecaster, communicator, this is the scenario I least like, because things can happen rapidly with very shortened time span. That's with watches and warnings or conditions of readiness. So the key to this situation is to communicate. Make sure people, the public know, and the media, make sure that everyone knows why we're making the decisions, what it's based off of, and what it means to the people, how to be best prepared, and that these are the possible conditions that could occur. We're maxing out our forecast potential right now for showers, thunderstorms, and gusty winds. If we have to bump it up a little bit further to tropical storm force intensity, it won't be much change in our prognosis, because we've already beefed up our forecast conditions to maximum non-storm force.
Thank you so much, Landon. We'll continue to help you guys to push out or to communicate with the public about how things change in a situation like this, and the need to pay attention to the information and to just constantly be ready for all hazards.
Yep.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We'll probably hear from you guys later. Okay.
We'll be around here all day and night.
Okay, thank you for that, and God bless you for that. That was Landon Aydlett, the warning coordinator meteorologist with the National Weather Service, and we thank him very much, and his colleagues for that update that he gave to all of you. So as you heard, this, as of now, and probably the most important thing to take away from any of these is that things can change.
Yeah.
And so don't get all pissy about, if on Saturday morning, you were expecting that there was going to be... Yeah.
No, he said Thursday and Friday, guys. Thursday and Friday.
Things can change. It can be a nothing burger, #nothing burger.
Nothing burger.
And it could be something, he said it could be...
Just like our lunch is a nothing burger.
It could be a tropical depression or a tropical storm or something like that. But he doesn't believe that it's going to be one of those put up your shutters and your plywood sort of storms. He believes this is one of those take down your tarp and canopy storms and secure your yard. That's probably the most important thing. Make sure that the dogs and the cats are taken care of.
Yeah.
And then if you want, make sure the kids are taken care of. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. Is there anything else? No, we'll likely be back later live today with information from the heavy weather briefing if there was any change in the weather. And for other news, for Candid News, I'm Troy Torres.
And I'm Johnny Rosario.
Good afternoon.